Whew, I'm out of breath. You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole and the homie Ray Jeezy is out. Here we go. I keep forgetting to making sure we're on Instagram Live as well. So now we're on Instagram Live too. So now we're set. Anyway, you can check us out at www.urbansportscene.com. That's our website. You can also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. If you're on YouTube right now, you're on our YouTube channel and you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit that red subscribe button right now and also like this video. Do not forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. You can also check out our weekly NFL picks on the Football Garbage Time website. Just go to www.footballgarbagetime.com. It's part of the Urban Sports Scene Football Garbage Time Challenge. I know you all are saying to yourself, dang, y'all a little early today. Y'all doing it 4 o'clock. Well, I told y'all before we trying something new. Gonna give y'all a little podcast on the drive type of thing. You know what I'm saying? You at work right now, 4 o'clock, chilling. You can tune into the podcast. So you already know what time it is. All right, man, let's get into our tradition, the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. Host of Locked On Wizards podcast, Brandon Scott will join me to debate whether the Washington Wizards should start power forward Marvin Bagley III. Then finally at 8:30, Al Jones from WFNZ 92.7 FM radio show In the Ring with Al Jones will join the show to preview Usyk Fury II. All right, let me introduce our guest host of the Locked On Wizards podcast, Brandon Scott, on the show. What is going on, B? What's good, my dude, bro?
What's good? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I just had my workout, so now I'm kind of like trying to get my breath back. You know what I'm saying? Because the workout was really good for whole job. The workout was mean, so now I'm in it now. I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing, bro?
Hey, man, another day in the life, brother. You already know how it is.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, you've been covering, like I mentioned this, you've been covering the Wizards pretty thoroughly. You've been doing some good stuff, good content on Locked On Wizards podcast. So first off, give you your flowers. Secondly, man, you've been out there too. Also, in terms of media credentials, you've been out there with, in the presser asking questions to Coach Keith, and multiple players and great questions. How you enjoyed that this season?
Oh, I'm loving it, man. I enjoy talking to the young guys, talking to the vets, man. I enjoyed the kind of the personal side of it, man, getting to know these guys, and so I'm loving, man, having a ball.
All right, so let's get into the topic. B, we both are fans of Marvin Bagley III. I make no bones about it. Like y'all folks have heard me. I like the dude's game. He has had some limited opportunities with the Wizards so far this season and within playing time. And it is only start this year against the Dallas Mavericks on December 5th. Bagley had 16 points, 8 boards. Do you think that he should get more? That he should be starting?
I'm gonna say this. He's definitely gonna start in the second half of the season. I definitely expect him to definitely be an option at the 4 in the second half. I get it. They're trying to showcase Kuz, so I'm not tripping too much about the first half. But in the second half, I think he's proven that, with the right environment, with the right supporting cast, with the right coaching staff, you can, set up a guy up in a good situation. The biggest knock against him in Sacramento and in Detroit was what? A low motor. Here in DC, he's had a high motor. And people forget that he's still young. I feel like he's been in the league forever, but he's still young. In my opinion, he could fit the timeline if they wanted him to. 3-level scorer. He's not a sniper, but he's a guy who can definitely hit that 3-point shot, hit the mid-range, score in the paint. He can definitely add some pressure defensively in the paint. And rebounding-wise, he's definitely a guy who's made us a better rebounding team. Yes, we're probably around 29th in the league in rebounding, but last time I saw, we're about middle of the pack. But between him and Jonas Valanciunas, we're definitely a better rebounding team. Just we're struggling overall. But Marvin Bagley III, he's a guy I would definitely consider the 4 in the second half of the season because he's proven, again, with the right environment, he can produce.
And do you feel like you mentioned in the second half of the season, but there's a lot of reports that Valanciunas is going to get traded. Like that's maybe probably more hotter than Kuz being traded right now. Do you feel like once he gets traded, Bagley will be inserted in the starting lineup, or do you feel like Coach Heath will still probably go a different route?
I mean, he could. I mean, he's got a lot of options. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of the the future start lineup in the second half really depends on what moves are made, right? If you move on from Valanciunas, then maybe you retain Rashawn Holmes, maybe entertain a trade for him. But at some point, you have to see what you have in Marvin Bagley III if he's a keeper. Because let's be real, he's an expiring contract too, so
Yeah.
he could be definitely moved at the deadline too. But in my opinion, a guy like that with the age he's at, you keep him around because again, with the CBA, you have to spend so much of your cap. So a team-friendly deal, keep him around. See if you can further, develop him. Because again, he's still young. Brian Keefe is a guy who, the big thing about Brian Keefe is what? Development. And if you look at players like Johnny Davis, Johnny Davis looks a lot better this year than he did in the years past. I mean, the jump shot looks better. He's not relying on, footwork and finesse to get in the lane. He's using speed. He's using improved ball handling. So you see automatically that Brian Keefe is getting the most out of Johnny Davis. Do the same thing with Marvin Bagley III. See if he can work with him and definitely reach that potential. Because look, Marvin Bagley III got drafted where? What, second overall? I mean, he still has a potential there at 25 years old. So, yeah, I mean, he could go another route, but you got to see what you have in Tristan Vucevic and Marvin Bagley III if you retain him. You have to see what you have, and that's what I'm thinking. That if you move on from JV, maybe you retain Rashawn Holmes, you have a lot of options. I think that's the biggest thing to tell people is that the Wizards have options. They can go in many different directions. Where in years past, there's only a few directions we could have gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what's going on, Lou? Yeah, I think that just for what they're doing with this whole youth movement, and trying to see if you can kind of, it's a gamble, right? Invest in a young dude that people have given up on and see what he has. I just don't get him not getting minutes.
Yeah,
that's the thing that kind of I don't get. Like this Wizard team isn't like world beaters to a point where a guy that does have a potential can't see the basketball floor. And granted, I know you're playing some guys who come up from the G League, you probably have more rapport with whatnot for the years in terms of development. And you got guys, rookies that you drafted, but there is a guy he's a guy who's still relatively young. That if you look at his average minute per point, it's pretty high. Like I think he averages for the Wizards, maybe I want to say 8 minutes a game or 8.4 minutes a game, and he's averaging 4.8 points and whatnot. So if you prorate it, if you give him 20 some odd minutes, you're getting a double-digit score.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, why not give that dude? And it's not like he's hunting for shots and getting those points. You know what I'm saying? He's not shot hunting. He's getting those points in the flow of the game with his offensive rebounds, diving to the basket, tip-ins, lobs. So he has a live body. I don't know why you wouldn't utilize him and play him more. That's what's confusing to me. If you don't want to start him, that's fine. But at least give him 20 minutes. I think he's warranted 20 minutes for your ball club.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You give him 20 plus minutes, man, because he's a 3-level guy. He's a guy who's very active in the perimeter, again, in mid-range, and he's done immaculate in the paint for us and with limited minutes. Like you said, they'll play him 10, maybe 12 minutes, and he'll give you 8 points, 4 boards. So when you give him playing time, he's productive. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of people look at Marvin Bagley III and say they call him a bust. And I think that you got to give young guys some time before you formally give them that title. Like you got to have the right situation. Sacramento wasn't the right situation. Detroit wasn't the right situation. I think Detroit provides him the right situation where he can flourish, he can grow, and you can see if you can reach that potential that team saw at number 2 overall coming out to do. So we're looking at this situation in DC. We're in a rebuild. So if you can fix players who are have some NBA time on their belt, why not? Because this is the perfect time to do take on reclamation projects and those bad contracts and see if you can get draft picks in return, or if you can fix a lot of these young guys who were kind of written off by other teams. So Marvin Bagley III to me is a keeper.
Yeah, I think he's a keeper. If you look at it again, against the Celtics on 11 minutes, 2 points, 11 minutes. Okay. Yeah. 5 minutes against the Cavs, 6 points. 6 points in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
It's self-explanatory. Against the Grizzlies, when he got 25 minutes, he had 20 points. That's what you give him productive. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. If you give him minutes, he's productive. So why him give him minutes? I don't that's the confusing part of the whole the situation with the Wizards and Marvin Bagley. And not like you're playing for the postseason. You're playing for to grow young players, to cultivate young players. You have an opportunity to do it with this individual who's showing you promise.
Well, I'll say this. I think one factor that kind of relegates them to the second unit is Kyle Kuzma. I think they know that they kind of put themselves in the situation with Kyle Kuzma because, while I kind of see why they signed him to that initial contract because you need to, again, fulfill so much of the cap, but not moving him last year kind of put them in the pickle because, You get now that you have guys like Bilal who can take a more of an offensive load, and they have the guy who's versatile like Marvin Bagley III. You kind of got a guy where it's like, where does Kuz fit long term? We all know he doesn't. So kind of got a log jam a little bit. So I feel like that's one big factor because Marvin Bagley III, to me, he's impressed me a lot. He's impressed me when he came over from Detroit because our rebounding automatically got better. I mean, we are a historically bad rebounding team, and then this one problem amongst other problems. But to me, he fits he checks all boxes for me. If you want to sign him to that team friendly deal and keep him around, you can do so. He's shown enough to where if a team like us says, oh, maybe, he's shown glimpses of Washington, maybe we can acquire him and see if we can get more out of his potential. And that's another thing that you kind of highlight with this new front office, that when you have examples like Marvin Bagley III, Jared Butler, go-go guy, that's an example for the rest of the league. It's saying that we are developing players here that, if you develop these guys right, you can get production out of them. So I think that Marvin Bagley III is one of those stories where it shows that if you, provide the player with the right environment, you can reach that potential. So
why do you think his playing time is scarce? Like, so inconsistent. Like, forget like starting, but why do you think like he'll get 11 minutes, he'll get 5 minutes? The games he's gotten 2 minutes in a game.
Yeah.
Like, why do you feel like it's that scarce?
I mean, it's a good question. Like I said, I think Kuz had a lot to do with him not being a starter and not getting significant minutes. Obviously, you had to see what you have to a certain degree with Patrick Baldwin Jr. Yeah. So there's a lot of moving pieces with the Wizards because you have like 3 tiers. You have those vets who are definitely going to be on their way out. You have those gray area players that I call them like Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and Corey Kispert. And then you have the young guys. So there's not a lot, but there's some people out there that are giving Brian Keefe a hard time, like, ready to fire the guy. It's like, you don't understand how hard his job is. Yeah. You have to showcase these vets, find playing time for the guys that you think are glue guys, and still try to develop young talent. And that's not an easy job to do. So, I think that the second half of the season, you're going to see more of an extended look because I think that a lot of people in the build do see the potential of Marvin Bagley III. Yeah. And I know, and his front office, they have no problem retaining guys part of the last regime. Now, obviously, with Denny, they saw that it was best to move on. Got a good package for him. Corey Kispert, he could be here for the long haul. He could be moved in the offseason because with his extension kicking in, he'll be eligible next year to be moved at some point. So, like I said all the time, the biggest thing is we have options. And that's the one thing to look at everything in Washington is that we have options. Mm-hmm. We're not weighed down by a bad contract because there's already news about Bradley Beal in Phoenix right now, man.
Well, everybody knew that what time it was with that contract.
Oh yeah,
that everybody knew. Like, that contract was, come on, bro. Like, come on. But you know what? I'm not going to even. I wish the best for Bradley Beal.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's funny because it's one of those situations where somebody's going to, what they're doing is going to mess them up, but it's like, I ain't gonna say nothing because it ain't my problem no more. Like,
no problem no more.
You knew Phoenix was taking on a big problem with that contract, man, especially with that no trade clause. But at that point, you're like, you're so glad he's not on the roster anymore. It's like, all right.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
it's your problem now. Still a good player. Very good player. Just not what people try to gas him up to be initially. That's all. He was a very, very good player though. Just not a number one.
Nah,
maybe not number 2 for real, but it is. Well, he's a depending on who your number 1 is, he could be your number 3. Depending on who your number 1 is.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So for you, like, you're pretty high on Marvin Bagley, just like I mentioned earlier. But so what do you think his max potential is then? For the Wizards. I think that's the correct thing to say.
For the Wizards, I can imagine him being a 6-man or maybe the first and second guy off the second unit because his versatility. His versatility, he can play the 5, he can play the 4. So that kind of you have capabilities in the trade market because his ability to play the 4 and the 5. I would shop Rashawn Holmes, in my opinion. I think he's a good glue guy, a good veteran. But
I trade him.
If because here's the thing: if you look at certain contracts, like I know them, Denver, they have interest in Jordan Poole, but the big problem with Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma is the salary. You got to match your salaries, especially with the new concept of the second apron. A lot of these contenders, when it comes to the second apron, there's so much capabilities that you have in the trade market. So, looking at Denver, the only player that you could take back would be Michael Porter Jr. And to me, I'm not taking on Michael Porter Jr. yet. He can ball out, man.
Take Michael Porter Jr.
Nah, man, he's a black hole with the ball, man. I mean, he would not.
Potential. I'd take Michael Porter Jr. the second off this day. He would be my number 1, though. He's not.
I mean, I'll tell you what, man. When it was Bradley Beal and KP here, I was advocating for us to go get Michael Porter Jr. because I feel like you put him in that lineup with him. I mean, we're definitely a playoff team, but now because if you look at his play style, man, it's not going to really fit these rookies. We all know he's a black hole at the ball, man. Like,
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
you
Because
know,
he worried
he's gonna.
about him. He worried about him.
Oh yeah, I mean,
And
he's got to rep
DC
around the
would not be
league,
good
man.
for him. And DC would not be good for him.
Nah, man.
No,
Yeah,
like
it wouldn't work out, man.
so. Yeah, it wouldn't be a good fit culturally. I could say that. I'm fair, and I like Michael Porter Jr. a lot, but it wouldn't be a good fit for him culturally. So all right. Oh, that's a good question. What player are on this trade market, right? And I'm
Yeah.
gonna stray away a little bit. In this trade market, what kind of player do you feel like the Wizards should like go after that? Like since you went that route.
Ooh, man, a good question. I'm gonna go two routes, man. Either swing big or try to find a diamond in the rough. When I swing big, I'm saying, looking at Houston. You know, what are they? You know, Jabari Smith Jr. wants some more featured role. Maybe you try to swing big and go after him. Ken Whitmore's the guy. He's playing in the G League. You know, he's the DMV guy. But to me, you want to find a diamond in the rough. Jonathan Kuminga was a guy that I really, really liked. But if you look at what's going on in Golden State, maybe
That's
Moses.
a hard one to get.
Yeah, I think Moses Moody's probably your target in Golden State if you go that route.
Yeah.
But Usman Dieng out of Oklahoma City, he's that kind of dominant rough player where they can kind of mold him. I like him. Some people have been saying Bobo. Maybe you see if you can kind of get him going in DC. But I would definitely try to find a diamond in the rough, man. You know, there's a lot of young players. I know the Cavs were looking at Kuz. Maybe try to finesse Isaac Okoro out of them or Karis LeVert. I would go that route.
That's good one.
So yeah, I mean, we got capabilities because, like I said, there's a lot of interest in the league for these guys, especially Jonas Valanciunas and Kyle Kuzma. Now, the big deal is going to be hard to move is Malcolm Brogdon, man. That's going to be the harder deal. And I know last time me and you chopped it up, man. I asked you that question. Do you see it being like kind of a Tyus Jones situation? And I think it could be, man, because the biggest thing with Malcolm Brogdon is he can play, but he can't stay on the court, and his price tag is $22.5. So if I'm a contending team, man, I'm very hesitant to take on 22.5, even though it's an expiring contract for a guy who may not even be available for the playoff run.
Yeah, the only team that we went from like the Wizards don't. If I'm the Wizards, I don't want to. I wouldn't trade. Not wouldn't trade. I would trade Malcolm Brogdon, obviously. Like I would trade him, but you're not going to get what you want because the only teams that you can get Brogdon to is a winner, and you're not going to. I mean, you'll get maybe a second rounder for him.
Yeah.
You're not getting a first rounder, and a second rounder for a winning organization is not like the best pick in the world. You know what I mean? But it's draft pick, right? It's just draft picks, but it's not like the NFL, right? Like I always feel like I tell folks like second rounders, you gotta be an awesome GM to hit on second rounders. Like an awesome GM. Like above like way above average to hit on second rounders, right? And then you're getting late second rounders at that. You're not even getting early second rounders, you're getting late second rounders. So and those dudes typically are G leaguers. You know what I'm saying? No knock on it, but they are. Like so that's gonna have to be in your organization. You're gonna have to do a good job in kind of cultivating that and grooming that and teaching that and training that to be a player that you can kind of use down the road, right? So, yeah, I mean, you basically you just train Brogdon, you just train Brogdon just for draft pick for a second rounders, right? And that's fine. I'd rather them trade him than just like let him just leave on the contract. Just trade him away. It's only going to be a winner. Like that's the fact. It's only going to be winners.
Oh no, I agree with you, man. But the thing is out our hands because of his injury past and that price tag. There's going to be one hiccup that's going to derail any future move. So I'm gonna say it like this, man. You definitely want to get some value out of him, but don't. I would expect a Tyus Jones situation where with that price tag, he's aspiring deal. So at the end of the year, he's going to be gone anyway. So retain him, keeping him around, let him mentor the guy. You win either way. That's what I'm saying. You have options because if you're not able to find that package you want for Malcolm Brogdon, look, you got a guard that's been in the league for a while who has ties to the DMV who can mentor the guys, and you don't have to, you're not tied down long term to him. So we have options.
Yeah. So if who would you for your Wizards like who would be your we talk about we think Bagley should start, but for you who do you think the Wizards should start?
Oh, good question.
If it was B starting lineup, who should be in B starting five for the Wizards on this roster right now? Not outside, but in this roster right now as constructed, who would be your starting five?
Man, that's a good question, man. I would roll if you have to balance out the vets and the young guys. I would put Poole at the 1. I would put Blau at the 2, Kuz at the 3, Bags at the 4, and Sarr at the 5.
Okay, all right. So now I'm gonna play it a different way.
Yeah, what's up?
If Kuz is traded, let's be real. 'Cause I think Kuz is getting traded.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Kuz is traded. Valanciunas is just traded. Not knowing what's coming back in, so we're not going to even play that game.
yeah.
Who's coming back in? Poole's. I think Poole's still going to be here. Safe. I think Poole's still going to be here. Who's your starting five?
Ooh, good question,
Kuz is
man.
not. Kuz is gone. Like, because he'll probably be
Yeah.
gone.
Kuz is gone, man. I don't Blau's back at the 3. Still Bags at the 4, Sarr at the 5, JP 13 at the 1, and at the 2. I'm gonna run with Keyshawn George, man.
Okay.
And the reason for that, he fits more as a secondary ball handler at the 2 guard because look, he's a guy who envisions himself at the 2 guard at 6'8". I would put Bub as the backup point guard and let him learn underneath a guy like Michael Brogdon, if he's not moved. But
My bad. Brogdon's moved too.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going the same route.
All to me, those players are moved. I think Kuz. So I think Kuz is moved. When that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
He's moved. Kuz is moved. Brogdon is moved, and Valanciunas is moved.
Yep.
I think those
Yeah, I'm going the same route, man. Yeah, I'll go the same route.
I don't think that's like where this team is going, with how many games they won. There's no need to keep some of these players. So they're all being moved, right?
Oh yeah.
Starting lineup. So you said you got Keyshawn George starting? That's what you're
saying?
Yeah.
Yep. At the 2 guard.
And Bub is not, but Bub's still the backup.
Yeah, he's gonna be 6 man. Yep.
I did it for me. I would like Poole to be traded, and I would like Bub to start. I'm all for Bub starting. I just think he plays a smarter brand of basketball.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's personally to me. You know what I mean? I'm just not like you watch the game with Poole against the Celtics game where old boy Phil hit him with a cross. He really pushed him though. That's how he did it. And then he out here pointing rather than shooting the ball. Like he playing on a basketball court. Like to me, that lets me know all I need to know about where his mind is at on this Wizards team.
I mean,
real with y'all. That let me know already. Like, where is your mind at on this thing? Like, not falling and pulling it. You busy pointing rather than get ready to shoot it. I was like, bro, you got it.
I tell you what, man. Jordan Poole is like. He's like that drunk uncle, man. That's your favorite uncle. Like you always find reasons to try to like take up for him, but it's like he'll do something. It's like, come on, man. Like I'm a big JP 13 guy, but he, like I said, he'll do something where it's like, come on, man. You're making it hard to like defend you, man. Like you pointed a guy on the ground and then you end up passing the ball. Because I know
put him on the ground. It's not like he hustled back up or the rotation was that clean. Yeah. Bro, the only reason why you weren't able to shoot it because you were busy pointing.
Yeah, he's a curious case, man, because he's a guy he's shown like some leadership this year, a lot of leadership, but then he does stuff like this. It's like, come on, man. Like, what? It's just he shows glimpses and then he'll do something. It's like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. You hopefully at some point you want to turn the page with him as far as being a mature basketball player, but he's still young too. That's the thing. I mean, he's still young, so yeah. It's the fact that Denver has value. Like I said, I like JP 13, and I like the steps he's taken off the court and on the court this year, but I'll say this. If given the right deal, they will move him. I mean, don't get it twisted. And like you said earlier, if you really want to be really 100 about it, Bub Carrington is the point guard of the future. Let's be real. Like when I say give JP 13 the keys, I'm looking at 2 to 3 years because and that's kind of what I'm saying. Give him the opportunity to show he can be that guy and then boost that value and then move on. But look, if they find the right deal, they move him. Maybe they look at Michael Porter Jr. because look, right now there's smoke to it, man. I mean, right now they're shopping Michael Porter Jr. and Denver's looking at Jordan Poole. So maybe they make that move. Who knows?
Oh, my man, Alexander Wilson. Poole's contract does expire in 26. That is not that far away.
Yeah, he's got 3 years left. So that's what I'm saying. Give him the keys maybe for 2 years and see if he can be that guy. But like you said, it's tough sometimes to defend him because he'll show glimpses of being that guy, and it's like he'll do stuff like that. It's like, come on, man.
Like, no, only because like I mentioned it because like you had a great question for me when I wrote this article for Fox and about like you asked him, is it time to give him the keys? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. Like he said, like, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, let's do it. And I felt like, all right, when I heard him say it, I was like, he's embracing the moment.
Yeah.
But then when you watch stuff like this, you be like, bro, I don't think you're really ready. For me, personally, not you. I'm saying like you. I'm just saying for me. Like, are you really ready? Because you want the keys. Like, you got to show these young dudes what it is about winning. You did win a championship because he referenced that winning a championship, having that experience. But you're not showing them championship mentality type of
Yeah,
basketball when you do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you got people like Bilal watching you. You got people like Bud
yeah,
watching you. Like these dudes, like you are kind of like a guy they're gonna look up to because you had success in this league. Now I'm not saying you've been an all-star, but you had success. Like you averaged 20 points per game on a
yeah,
championship caliber team. Like you've had this. So, but you got to cultivate and teach these dudes what it is about winning a championship.
yeah,
And I'm not sure if he's like doing stuff like that is wild. Alexander also said, which means that in 25 Pooler could be attracted as a trade piece
yeah,
with his expiring contract. I got you to give it. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, so that's the only thing about Poole. Like I'm like, because you got the young dudes that I do like. I like Keyshawn George. I like
yeah,
Bub. I like Bilal. I mean, Sar is starting to try to find his way. Like he's had some
oh yeah,
productive games. Um, but they're looking at you.
oh yeah,
Like that's you know what I mean? Like Wall when he got to Washington as a rookie, he had to look at like Gill, but that was a different Gill, right? Like that
yeah,
wasn't the same Gill. You know what I mean? Like so they got rid of him.
oh
They got
yeah,
Gill, so they had to, right? Um, yeah, you're gonna take on you're gonna try to take on some character traits and personality traits or game traits from your leader. And if your leader is doing that, everybody gonna feel like they can do Showtime. You know, and they trying to in a basketball game.
yeah. Nah, I'm with you, man. And I'll say this: you do see where these young guys are developing bad habits, and that's one thing I don't like, man. That they are developing some bad habits, and that's the one thing that I want to see JP13 improve on if he wants to be that guy,
Yeah,
is that he's got to utilize the shot clock and he's quick on that trigger, man. And I get it; he's a scoring minded guard.
yeah,
I totally get it, man. You know, he's averaging 20 plus, man. So look, I get it, but to be that guy at point guard, you've got to. And the vision, I think, is definitely slept on. He's got better vision. A lot of people give him credit for it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, he's got to utilize that shot clock. I mean, a lot when you sit down and watch his offense, this maybe one, maybe two guys touch the ball, and the ball's already getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got to really learn how to be. Look, I want this team to be faster. Absolutely, you want to be that transitional team, but you have to be a balanced team. You got to learn not only be a transitional team, but you got to play half court too. So you know they got to be balanced. They haven't found that balance yet. They're a very imbalanced team. So, looking at JP13, the ball's in his court because
Yeah,
because a lot of his fans are like, anytime you mention trade, they kind of get mad at you. It's like, look, improve play, you're going to get trade interest. That's just the nature of the beast.
right.
But don't get it twisted. If they find the right package, they're going to make that move because Will Dawkins is going to get rid of a lot of these vets because he said it early before the season started. The youth movement is going to formally start in the second half of the season, so they're going to be big sellers.
No, I totally agree, Brody. He said, Alexander Wilson also said, William Brandon, I'm saying this right now, the Wizards point guard of the future is Dylan Harper. Ooh, how do you like Dylan
Nah,
Harper?
but he is definitely the two guard of the future. I'll tell you this: if you put Dylan Harper in the same backcourt as Bub Carrington, come on now, that's a nice backcourt. I'm telling you, yeah, I'm big on Dylan Harper, man. Dylan
Yeah,
Harper is a beast.
look, everybody should be aiming for Cooper Flag. I'm sorry, that should be the goal.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you get number one, man. You
Number
sprint
one,
to the podium.
that should be the goal. You know what I'm saying? I like Harper though. Harper can hoop. Don't get it twisted, but that should be the goal.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah.
it's always great to have you on. Before I let you go, my guy, how can folks catch you on social media? How can they catch your content, bro?
Oh yeah, you catch me on X at Locked On Wizards. Catch me on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts at Locked On Wizards. And definitely I do Commanders work over at the Washington Football Maniac. So yeah, man, appreciate you having me on as usual, man.
Always, bro. Anytime. You already know. Look, man. When I want to talk Wizards, I'm going to be. That's just it. I'm gonna keep it blocked. I want to talk
Appreciate you,
Wizards.
man.
I'm gonna be. I ain't going nobody else. I'm gonna I'm gonna be in the DMs. I'm gonna be like, hey B, what you doing, bro? What's happening? That's what's going
Appreciate you, man.
on. All right. Hey B, man, appreciate you, man. You have a blessing, bro.
Yes, sir. You as well.
My guy, man. My guy.
Um,
All right. My guy B. You already know what time it is, man. Like, hopefully the Wizards turn around. I was covering a few Wizards games, man. But that was a hard watch, man. But anyway, man, I mentioned earlier before the show, man. But in our pregame, we talking boxing. It's boxing time. I got my boxing guy on. I see him in the queue already. You know what I'm saying? We have Al Jones from In the Ring with Al Jones. You know what time it is. He the man with boxing. He the boxing.
Hey,
What's
hey,
going on, AJ? What's
hey,
up?
hey, what's up, baby?
What is
What's
good?
going on?
Man, it's always a good time we have you on, bro. You already know what's going on. We got you on. That's what's going on.
Always a pleasure, man. Thank you for inviting me.
Appreciate you, man. I had to have you, man. It's the big fight. It's part two.
No doubt.
This part two. Part
No
one
doubt.
was a banger. We got part two of this. I mean, like the Turk, he don't be playing with us. He
No.
don't be playing games. You know
No.
what I'm saying? So for the undisputed heavyweight championship, we got Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. They meet again. They have to face off in Riyadh for Riyadh season, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, in the Kingdom Arena, bro. First
Oh
off, like,
yeah.
how excited are you about this fight, bro?
First of all, man, I am extremely excited. I love everything that the Turk is doing. His Excellency is doing.
Oh, we thought Al, that lose Al. I'm gonna get Al back. Hold on, we gonna get Al back. Hold on. I think Usyk is going to finish Fury. I think so too. I think he's gonna definitely do it. I think we lose Al. Let me see if I can get Al back. Hey Al. AJ. Let me see if I can get AJ back. AJ, you good? There we go, y'all. Hey man, this is how it is. We doing live stuff. Sometimes some dudes see if we can get AJ back. We're gonna try again. Remove AJ. Hopefully we get AJ back. All right, we're gonna try to get AJ. AJ gonna come back on. We're gonna get AJ back on. But yeah, I'm excited for this fight though. Like I think this fight is gonna be hellified awesome, bro. You talking about but Usyk versus Fury. All right, here we go. I know I got you. There we go.
There
All
we
right.
go.
So all right. So how excitement? Fight. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I like I was saying earlier. I mean, I am so excited. I'm happy for what the Turk is doing. His Excellency is doing for the sport of boxing, man. I'm glad that that the fans are finally getting to see some exciting fights.
Yes.
You know, because the sport and it's more of a global event now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as more so just an American event. We have a lot of boxers are getting global exposure
Mm-hmm.
with the sport now. So I mean, big ups to that. You know, big ups to Riyadh season and everything that His Excellency the Turk is doing. I want to give him a shout out for that.
Mm-hmm.
This fight here, I am so excited, man, for this and glad that we're able to see this event take place again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is going to be, in my opinion, though. I mean, I really think we're going to see much more. I really think we're going to see what we saw last fight.
Okay. So we're in
You
agreement.
know,
Okay, though. Go ahead. Go ahead.
you know, I'm looking forward to Usyk. Actually, the more skillful fighter.
You get it.
You
That's what I'm getting
far
going.
much
You
more
know what I'm saying?
skillful
You know.
than Tyson Fury is, man. Tyson Fury, though, he does have a puncher's chance,
Yes.
but I really see pretty much what we saw. He's outclassed by Usyk.
Mm-hmm.
Usyk's country. Usyk is fighting for a purpose. You
Yes.
know, his focus is he's even far much more focused now than he is last time. I'm not. I don't see much more uh, of Tyson Fury being in shape more. I don't see. I don't see him bringing anything to this fight as he did last May. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Nah, I'm with you, bro. Like, I feel like I mean, I still think it's gonna be a good fight because obviously Tyson Fury is a bigger dude, right? So that's there. He does have that advantage, and he's skilled too. So this is no knock on Tyson Fury about his skill set. It's not like
Right.
It's not like Usyk's fighting Deontay Wilder, right? So we're not like
Right.
route,
Right.
but but just we all watch this boxing game, for a while, like, and we know like typically when you are not just a skill, when you are a supreme boxing savant, when you
Right.
are one of them,
Right.
it is hard to beat one of them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't care what you like, no knock on Fury, but this is like the best skill. This is the most skillful boxer he's ever seen. And it's
Yeah, it
not like
is.
this dude, and this dude ain't soft. Like this dude got a chin for a smaller dude. He got a chin. He's tough as nails. You know what I mean? The
Yes.
footwork is immaculate. He's a dog. You're seeing a heavyweight. This was a cruiserweight, but he's a heavyweight now. You're seeing a heavyweight boxer with welterweight ability to move in the ring.
Great footwork,
Yes.
power,
Mm-hmm.
hands. Just all around. Former gold medalist.
Yes.
Just all around boxer in Usyk. He brings everything that you can ask for. Keeps his jabs out. He sets it. He sets the right hand up with his jab. His footwork is great. His defense is impeccable. He's just all around, your skillful fighter. Just long as he doesn't go to sleep and get relaxed in there, which I don't see Usyk doing it. As long as he doesn't go to sleep, he will go ahead and finish Tyson off. Really on this one, I wouldn't be surprised of a knockout in this particular matchup.
I will say this though, like I feel what you're saying that if it's a knockout, like I think Fury has the advantage on that aspect. If it's a knockout, an early round knockout type of thing, like he would have that. But I'll say this, and that's just saying that's I would give not the that's the only way Fury wins. Let me rephrase it. That's the only way Fury wins. If he knocks out Usyk.
Right.
If it goes to the card, it's going to be Usyk. I'm sorry, it's going. That means
Absolutely.
If you're giving me 12 rounds in a 12-round fight, who's winning round for round? I am taking Usyk over Fury any day of the week.
All day.
Usyk, in my opinion, is to get him out the ring.
Absolutely. I'm excited though. I'm definitely looking forward to the fight. It's going to be spectacular. Actually, right now, also, Vegas has Usyk up.
They do. Really? Okay.
Yeah, Vegas has Usyk. It has it close. I think it's like minus 150 right now. So, I really see Usyk. I don't have it that close. Mm-hmm. Like I say, I'm really expecting Usyk to win in a TKO the same way he did Anthony Joshua. Usyk is a beast, man. He is a beast in that heavyweight division. And once he, I don't see anyone really stopping him in the future at all.
My man, this is what I'm gonna see if you agree with this comment. Alexander Wilson said. He said, I think Usyk is going to finish Fury. I think Fury is past his prime. Do you think Fury is past his prime?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In the heavyweight division, you got to think about it. Fury has been. I totally agree. Fury has been fighting. He's been boxing for over almost 25 years now. 25 years now, and he's not getting. He's taken plenty of punishment. He's not getting younger. His weight, all the abuse that his body has taken, even from previously being on drugs and everything. Although he's only 36, he's probably really in his 40s when it comes to just really in life. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really think that he'll ride out. He will get one last fight. I really do believe against Anthony Joshua. That's the money fight.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think he'll just go ahead and retire.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna ask you this question since we kind of already both. I'm gonna ask you and I'll still get into some of the technical stuff, but I will ask you this. Then I'll jump ahead a little bit. Do you feel that what happens if Usyk wins this fight? And we both expect Usyk to win this fight. Do you think Usyk retires till he wins this fight? Because I don't see who he can fight next. I'm not into you don't need to fight Anthony Joshua. I'm gonna keep it a bean. There's no need to fight Anthony Joshua. Dubois, and you beat Dubois already. So do you really need to fight him again?
I believe he will fight Dubois one more time, just for the critics. That said, that many had said Daniel Dubois stopped him.
Gotcha.
Had stopped him with that body shot. Okay. So I do believe that he will give Dubois an opportunity to step in the ring with them again. Okay. That would be an interesting outcome. If Dubois can go ahead and do the same thing that he did to Anthony Joshua. You got to give Dubois that fight.
Okay.
You definitely have to.
I like Dubois. I think that he's relentless. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not a fan of the kid. I think the kid is like I liked him prior to Anthony Joshua's fight. I was impressed with him
Right.
prior to Anthony Joshua's fight. I thought his mindset was definitely it changed after losing to Usyk. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people thought that he didn't have the desire and the passion, but I think Dubois definitely has. I think Dubois has the motor. He's motivated. I'm just not. I don't know. Like Usyk, the way Usyk talks is as if he's thinking about the end. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's
Right.
the reason why he's thinking about the end. And
And
it's like,
I had an opportunity to meet Dubois.
yeah,
He had his debut here in America under the Jake Paul when he was on the Jake
yeah,
Paul card
mm-hmm,
in Cleveland, Ohio. I had an opportunity to meet him then, and he's definitely come a long way since then.
yeah,
That was several years ago, and he's definitely come a long way since then. He's a good kid. His talent has developed.
mm-hmm.
His future is bright
Very bright.
with boxing.
It is.
As these guys get older, he gets better, and Dubois demonstrated that against Anthony Joshua. And he brought it to Joshua. He brought it. He brought it to. He wasn't scared of Usyk and actually caught Usyk with a body shot,
Yeah.
and deserved that standing 8 count for Usyk. So, I definitely, like I say, the future is bright for him, and I really wish that they will give him a rematch, especially after beating Joshua recently.
To your point, I think they probably will. Like I think Alexander agrees with you too. He says, yeah, Usyk needs to fight Dubois again. That was a competitive fight. Yeah, I think yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think I could see it because I think initially I was thinking to myself like, yeah, probably Fury's like the big money fight. He'll probably like end it off the getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Not and
Right.
not the legacy. But I don't. You know what? Just knowing that Usyk, like in my opinion, thinking that I know Usyk, like from seeing his track record, oh boy, it's all about the smoke. Like so, if somebody think he could beat him, he wants that challenge and he wants
Right.
I feel like he about the smoke. So I don't feel like he's trying to look for an excuse not to fight somebody. He's not that type of person.
Right.
So if he feels that you're warranted of fighting him, I do believe to your point he'll take that fight. I'm like, who was
Yeah.
the dude because who was the dude that Dubois beat before uh Joshua? It was because it was an impressive victory. I'm trying to remember because it was definitely in Riyadh.
Was it Chisra or Parker? One of those guys?
It wasn't Parker. It was the other because he was supposed to. Oh, it was a. I want to say it was definitely an overseas box. It wasn't a European boxer. I wasn't a boxer from like London. It was I want to say like Russia or something. Oh, who was it? It'll come to me later. But it was an impressive victory. He was the underdog in that fight too.
Right. I mean, he's definitely come a long way.
Yeah.
He's definitely come a long way in his career. And he's in the future, like I say, the future is definitely bright for Dubois.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna try to look that up now. Actually, but in terms of I know I'm trying tripping. It's Ergonov. Yeah, Ergovich.
Oh yeah,
It
Erkovich.
was Ergovich. Like Ergovich is supposed. Everybody had Ergovich. Like yeah. Oh, he got it too. Thank you, Will. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was Ergovich. Yeah.
Yeah, Erkovich.
Yeah. He said, "Don't forget, Usyk the bar was outside, and a thunderstorm was going on during the fight. Oh, it was outside. Oh, the fight was outside.
Yeah,
Oh snap. Okay.
yeah. It was an outdoor fight.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna ask you this question too as well. Then you know what I mean. So we gotta be on the flip side. I gotta say, just in case Fury wins, if Fury does win, are we getting Fury, Usyk 3?
Yes, it will
Would
definitely.
that be anything in between? Will we getting that 3? That would be the immediate fight for
Right.
either two.
Right. That is already in the contract.
The contract.
The
Okay.
trilogy is in the contract. So I mean, if Fury was to get that shot in,
Yeah.
which he's capable of doing, you can't count the man out.
Yeah,
He is definitely capable of getting that shot in as long as Usyk doesn't relax, get too relaxed out there, which I doubt he does.
Yeah.
But Fury can put him out, and we all know that. So you can't count Fury out. He's a skilled fighter as well. but his skill set just isn't of the two. He is the lesser of the two.
Oh, so this is a good question. I agree. I think it's gonna be three, but my Alexander says if Fury wins, they going to directly to Joshua from what the UK people say.
No, well, contractual wise, from
Yeah.
the contract perspective, it'll be a trilogy
Yeah,
before he gets to that.
that's true. I think so
Yeah,
too. I can do the trilogy. They have to.
yeah, most definitely. It'll be a trilogy in effect.
Yeah,
I
Joshua
mean,
gotta wait, man. Joshua gotta wait, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. And
and
you got
that's a lot of money. I
huh?
mean, you got to think about it. That's a
It's a lot
lot of
of money.
money as well in the trilogy between
Mhm.
the two,
Yeah.
just based upon that, you know. And a lot of people would love to see that. I
Hmm.
mean, they're especially like Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn definitely thinks Tyson Fury is going to win. One, because he's a Brit, from the UK, and secondly, he'll love to see that money, and that will create a
That's
big mega fight, a huge fight
yeah.
between Joshua and Tyson Fury
That's
as
definitely.
well.
I mean, that is the money fight, right?
Right,
Joshua Fury is the money fight. The boxing fight there's a difference. There is a difference. The boxing
right,
is Fury Usyk. That's the boxing fight. If you love the sport, that's the fight.
right.
Like that's the true fight. And you know
Absolutely.
that, dog, I love Anthony Joshua. Like I'm Nigerian, he's like Nigerian, so I have to root for that dude. But like what happened to him with the block, but it is what it is, right?
Right, exactly.
It tarnishes the image. Like it's not to me, it's not warranted. He's not warranted some like the big fight compared to some of these other dudes now. Like now, it's because the way he lost. It's the way he lost.
Right.
That he
And
lost.
I mean, to me, I don't think Josh is in Joshua's heart anymore.
There you go.
Myself personally.
There you go. So you get what I'm saying? Like yeah,
Right. I don't really think it's in his heart after suffering all those losses,
mm-hmm.
these losses, despite the money. I mean, he's well off at this point in
Mm-hmm.
life. And I really don't think, it's in his heart right now. Right now, his chin is just, and Anthony Joshua's chin is just so
It's too
suspect.
fragile, bro. It's
You
just
know what I'm saying?
it's too fragile.
And I don't think he wants to even get in there himself with a Tyson Fury or get back in there with Usyk. He would need a Dubois or some rematch before he would get in there, or fight a Jared Anderson or somebody like that,
Yeah,
who can go and jump in the ring with them, who I like to see come back and needs a big fight.
yeah. I mean, I like everybody know I like Jared. I do like Jared, but he does need a big fight. He needs to reset. Jared needs to
Right.
reset.
Right. He got a little cocky, he got a little cocky coming up because also in sparring, Jared Anderson had dropped Tyson Fury several times in sparring.
Yeah,
So yeah. So he got a little cocky with it and he got humbled real quick and kind of, his skill set also needs some polishing up as well.
it does. It does.
So
Especially,
look forward though for Jared Anderson to come back and be a name that will recognize. Everyone will recognize very soon.
yeah, my man. What's going on, Boxer Source? What's going on, homie? He said got Usyk for the win. If he stops Fury, then we might see Fury retire. Ooh, you think Fury
Yeah,
retire if he gets stopped? That's a good
if
one.
if he gets stopped, I could see. I mean, because he's made a lot of money in the sport as well, and in his heart, and for a man to beat you twice, that hurts your
It does.
psyche.
And
That
the other
hurts your
guys do
psyche.
too. And
That hurts your psyche.
yeah,
The same way we seen Deontay Wilder go down.
true.
Now, the karma would be on Tyson Fury at that point. To have a man come down and beat you like that, especially if he gets knocked out.
Mm.
He would try to hold on and make it a decision, but if he gets knocked out, it wouldn't surprise me though at this
Okay,
point.
about Jared, Boxer Sources. I have no idea what Jared will do next. I talk with his trainer often. Mm, dang.
Yeah,
I hope. I hope, man.
yeah.
I like Jared, man. I do. I do like Jared. I thought highly of Jared. I thought Jared was the next one.
I did as well.
You with me? I thought he was the next one. I really did. And let me not talking past tense like it still can't happen. Like we
Right,
see some
right.
guys kind of turn around. So I'm not gonna act like he can't do it.
But
Jared,
he was vulnerable Jared became very vulnerable with his inability to move out of the way. His
Yeah, I
footwork was
know. I
bad.
know.
He had a very bad habit of just leaning back.
Yeah.
You know, when those jabs come at you and
Yeah.
just leaning back and that right hand come at you. Instead of scooping, getting up out the way and stepping to the side, he created a bad habit of just thinking that he can just get out your way like that. And a real boxer, an experienced boxer, is gonna press you and put it on you in that situation because they know you're vulnerable and they watch your moves and know what you're gonna do. So they're gonna walk in with that 1-2. They're gonna walk in with it, and that's what happened with Jared.
Yeah, my man. You said, I got. Let's finally have Jared Anderson against Jarrell Miller. Gotta see if Miller is okay from.
Big Baby Miller,
Yeah,
Big Baby versus Big Baby.
baby.
They can fight for the name. That would be a good matchup as well. You know, that would be a good matchup for them to fight for the name. Big Baby.
I know, right? You said Jared was pulling straight back too much. Yeah, what you were saying. Um, I think that like my thing, what I liked about Jared Anderson was like I like heavyweights who can box, and I just loved his box. I thought he could just box. I like his boxing skills.
Right.
But yeah, he couldn't get out the way though. That was like you said, he just couldn't get out the way. Like
Exactly.
he's in danger. Like he would not. It's like he couldn't get himself out of danger.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, which
So yeah,
you
this
need to.
fight here though, man, it's coming up. It's around 5 o'clock Eastern
Yeah,
Standard.
standard.
You know, it's 5 o'clock our time on the East Coast.
I love it.
So it's gonna be an early fight. Keep that in mind. Let the fans know.
Yeah, I know. True at 5 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, let y'all know. 5 o'clock Eastern. I know. Definitely. I love it. I love these though. I ain't gonna lie. These Riyadh fights are amazing to me. I ain't gonna hold you.
Absolutely.
My whole life is now it's open. I ain't gonna hold y'all. My whole life is open now. Like I don't gotta stay up be all tired and whatever. Like
right.
I'm good now. Like
that's what I told you. I was gonna be at an ugly sweater party around it.
I know. Look, you got it. Look, I'm telling you, you got time that you could do all of that. You could do all that, bro. You have time to do all of that and still enjoy the night even more, bro. Like it's nothing.
Exactly.
It's nothing like it. I'm gonna ask this question before I let you go, though. Real talk. I would want the third. I would want the third fight to be in Vegas, but I know it won't happen. How come we can't get a heavyweight fight? Like one. This is a mega fight. How come we can't get like at least one in Vegas? Like one.
Right. The trilogy.
One,
I mean, Riyadh, has definitely affected. It has definitely affected the American market, but that's. We dropped the gloves when it comes to that. That's our fault.
Yeah.
With all this cherry picking and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's our fault. I mean, I would love to see this fight at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That would be a great fight in Brooklyn or Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. Yeah. That would be a great fight to see that. To be here and like you say, even in Toyota, but. Yeah. It's just more so. It's an even bigger fight over there in Saudi Arabia. So I mean, it's a global fight. I mean, these boxers are one is from the Ukraine and one is from the UK.
Yeah.
So I mean, they deserve it over there. Our promoters, that's our promoters' fault over here in the U.S. They the ones that drop the ball or drop the gloves on this. And they're all pretty much merging with Riyadh. Oscar De La Hoya's up under the Riyadh umbrella now. Eddie Hearn with Matchroom Boxing is under the Riyadh umbrella now, and Don King is in negotiations. So, trying to sell whatever stake he has left in DK Production, he's trying to get up in there now. So, I mean, that's our fault. Our promoter's fault for dropping the gloves, dropping the ball on that one.
AJ Boxing Source says here's a good question. He says fans here won't pay for that fight. When's the last time Usyk has fought in the U.S.? I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I feel like if you put enough around it, I think fans would. I think in Vegas they would kind of. I think folks would show up in Vegas.
Yeah, they would show up in Vegas. They may show up in New York.
This fight, I think they would. For this fight.
Yeah, most definitely. But look at how much more money is generating now. How much
Yeah,
more sponsorship is generating now over in Riyadh.
yeah.
And believe it or not, I mean, His Excellency is passing money out like it's Skittles, man.
Oh,
You
bro.
know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you, man.
He is passing out money like it's candy.
Yeah,
So that's, the bottom line is the money. Where the money at, that's where they're going. And it's on their side of the pond. So they can have it. They can have that fight. And then in Wimbledon, I mean, look how many seats that you can sell out in Wimbledon.
hmm
In the UK with those big fights, you're talking over 125,000 seats and 150,000 seats. So it's much bigger. They
it is.
deserve it.
No, I'm with you. It is. I remember so they get like 150. The purse is like 150 mil.
Right.
Crazy. That's insane. Man, I mean, the Turk, man, he the man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah.
Now there's no excuse to duck smoke, man, because he puts you out on blast for real. Like real talk. He take care of the money to a point where you
Right.
can't get no excuse, man.
Right.
That's why I love him. That's why I respect him so much. He lets you know who the fake ones are. He lets you know.
Exactly. Because
You know what I'm saying?
he's gonna make the card happen.
Yeah,
If you want to box, if you want to get in the ring, he can make it happen.
to make it happen. No, I
You
agree.
know.
That's why I
And
like.
and I would really like to see Javante Davis. He wants to make some fights together for Javante Davis as well. Your guy from the DMV. So I
Yeah,
mean, Tank can't keep cherry picking for him. Tank
yeah.
gonna have to jump in there with somebody, really, for real, right
Real,
now.
real talk. I'm being real. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I said that. There's no like if you call yourself one of the best boxers in the world, and the Turk out there,
Right.
you ain't like there's no way to duck it. Like if you
It-
want to, because he makes it happen. Like
yeah, he does.
like that's why I like Bud with him. Bud know what time it is. Bud ain't ducking no smoke.
None.
You know what I'm saying?
None.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If you one of them dudes who try to use excuses not to fight somebody, don't go near the Sheik. I mean the Turk. Don't go near
Right. Exactly.
don't go near him because he gonna expose you. You gonna be
And he
exposed.
would give Canelo whatever he wants to
Exactly.
put that match together.
Yeah.
So he's already pretty much got Bud Crawford under his wing right now. The Turk does. So he is what Canelo. If Canelo wants the fight to happen, the Turk can make it happen. If he can get past PBC and get something up under the contract with PBC and make something happen. If he wants it, it can be done.
Yeah. I don't think he fighting Canelo. I doubt it. I don't think Crawford's fighting Canelo. So I don't really believe it. You think it's
And
gonna
I
happen?
mean,
What do you
that's
think?
his only really fight of interest, his
Yeah.
only match
Yeah.
that he's interested in. Bud has gotten a taste of that money now,
Yeah.
so nothing else really makes sense for him psychologically that's gonna get him and make him up for the fight.
No, it
Get
makes
him
sense.
up for the fight.
I agree. It doesn't make sense for him. So, Al, before I let you go, man, how can folks catch you on social media? How can they catch your content? How can they catch the show?
Yeah, man. Main thing, catch me. Reach out to me on the gram, on all social media platforms. In the ring with Al Jones, AJ in the ring. You can reach out to me, man, and catch me at any time. Big things coming for 2025. Stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to a huge announcement coming soon.
All right, man. Well, Al, you're one of the smartest boxing minds in the game, bro. Appreciate you for being on.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for having me on.
You know, man, you're one of my go-tos. So I appreciate you, man.
No doubt. Happy holidays to
Happy
you and your
holidays to you, bro.
family.
Stay blessed, man.
Okay.
Stay deep, man.
All right. Peace.
All right, man. My guy Al, man, dope dude, man. Al is amazing. In the ring, make sure you check in, you pull into him and check him out. In the ring with Al Jones. Y'all know what time it is with him. Let me get myself out of this stuff though. I'm like in one box. I don't know why I'm in one box. Let me also there we go. Got it. Let me go ahead and do this as well. Let me get myself out the box. Brody. Out the box. Get my stuff. I don't like the bars on me. Now I'm good. I'm good. I'm all good, right with the world. But yeah, I think, in terms of, let me read some of these comments though. He said the rumors are that Canelo is fighting Crawford in May on a supercard. Thoughts? I mean, I would love for that fight to happen. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know. It just scared. I think Canelo might be a little bit too big for Bud, but I've learned not to doubt Bud. So I'm not doubting Bud. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna doubt Bud. I think Bud is him. But yeah, Bud is him. Like I'm not gonna be that person. In terms of like I'm going back to the fight with the fight Saturday. I think it's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be. I think when you give a boxing scientist time to adjust to what he did in the first fight, and I'm talking about Usyk, I think you'll see a better performance from Usyk. And Usyk had a great performance. I think Usyk will start fast. Use his athleticism. He will hit Fury from various different angles. But I also think Fury's power game because of his size will be a deterrent. You know what I'm saying? So I think it'll be a great. I'm taking Fury. Okay, I'm taking Fury because everyone sold on Usyk. Okay, I'm taking Usyk. So I won't lie to you, but I feel you. I respect that. I'm taking Usyk. But I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think anybody would be surprised if Fury beats Usyk and we get a part 3. I don't think anybody would be surprised. But I think I just always lean to the more skill, like to me, the more skillful boxer. And I think Usyk is. I think Usyk is one of the more skillful boxers we've seen in a long time. Heavyweight boxers that we've seen in a long time. But yeah, I'm not knocking that at all, man. I definitely think that Fury definitely has the ability to win this fight. And I think a trilogy. I mean, growing up seeing Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe, that type of contest going back and forth, and we can see that type of thing here. Like all competitive fights. I'm for it, bro. Like you ain't gonna hear me knock out. I mean, this a great heavyweight trilogy. You will not get that. Like Wilder Fury was cool, but I just felt like there was some domination in some elements of it. Like in terms of like I felt like Fury pretty much won most of those fights just by just skill. Like other than even the first fight when he had the Undertaker rise, right? I felt like Fury with all the knockdowns in that fight. I thought in terms of round for round without knockdowns, like Fury was easily winning rounds against Deontay Wilder. So I feel like this fight, this fight part like fight 1 between Fury and Usyk, they were so competitive. Like they were competitive until like Usyk kind of got to him towards the later portions of the round. Man, I just thought that he was like, yeah, I just thought he was more dominant in that aspect. But yeah, man, towards the end. But yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting fight. I think it'll be a great fight. I think folks will tune in, pull up. I will be watching that fight. I will be interested to see what happens after the fight. Say if Usyk wins, what's gonna happen? Yeah, that Wilder fight took a lot of Fury. Yeah, I know it did though. It did. Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with that. It did. You could see it though. I think you could see it. You could definitely see it in the Usyk fight. Like to be real with you, I agree with that. I think you definitely see it in the Usyk fight. But yeah, I think this fight's going to be dominant. I mean, a great fight. I feel like the fight's at least going. I feel like Usyk wins is going 12. Even if Fury, I think the latest, I think it'll if it's ended, if the fight does end early, the 10th round. Either side, I think 10th round, either if it ends early. Fury messed up. So here you go. So Fury messed up in the first fight, getting himself in bad positions, ducking down when Wilder would throw the jab. That's why he got knocked down in the first time. Yeah. I can see a stoppage by either side. Yeah, I can too. Because Usyk did hurt him. He did hurt him in multiple rounds in that fight, in the first fight. But so did I felt like if you go back and everybody wants to won't be biased. I feel like both fighters had points when they hurt each other. You know what I mean? So I just think it's going to be a competitive fight. But I tend to lean more with the boxer. I think Usyk is just I just have so much respect for Usyk. I've had respect for Usyk off the rip. Everybody knows I'm an Anthony Joshua supporter. And that's a dude I did not want Anthony Joshua to fight. I was like, man, dude, don't fight Usyk. I just felt like Usyk was going to be Anthony Joshua. Even though Joshua was the bigger dude, and you saw it was like light work for that dude for Usyk. It was light work for him. So he's a skilled boxer, man. He's just one of the best we've seen. And just you gotta respect, his resume. We got to being an Olympian, a gold medal Olympian, being what he's done. Look at what he's done at cruiserweight. Look at what he's done at heavyweight. I mean, it speaks for itself, man. What this dude has done in the boxing game is insane. It's just that he doesn't have like that flash to him to kind of like promote himself as that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like Fury has pizzazz. He has that flair for the dramatic, right? That flair for excitement. He's that charisma, right? To a point where he's kind of promoting himself, and so there's a lot more to the tape. There's a lot more in terms of the eyesight for Fury, but when it comes to Usyk, it's all about business. It's all about business, and he has handled business, throughout his boxing career. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We went a little bit over, but this has been dope. Love talking to y'all. Love the chat, man. The chat was live and popping. Just a heads up for folks who usually tune into our pod, man. We're gonna have another pod on Friday. Talking about the Washington Commanders, their upcoming game against the Philadelphia Eagles. It'll be on the Urban Sports Scene's YouTube channel, X handle, IG, and Facebook channel as well. So just make sure y'all pull in for that. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also follow us on X at Urban Sports Scene, IG at Urban Sports Scene, TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Again, if you're on our YouTube channel right now, hit that red subscribe button right now. Just hit the red subscribe button. Also like this video. Hit it, subscribe, like, comment, because it does well for our boxing algorithm. So comment if you here, tune into our Wizards talk. Comment about the Wizards stuff. Like this, subscribe. It does well for our Wizards in terms of us being searchable for Wizards content. So yeah, do all of that. Also, if you want to check out our website, just go to www.urbansportscene.com. Man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate the chat. You guys were lovely. I appreciate Fotex, the Boxing Source, Alexander Wilson. You appreciate you, man. Appreciate my guys from Adams Boxing. You guys were amazing. You guys made this show pop in. I was like, damn, I'm gonna do an afternoon show. How many people are gonna chime in? And I appreciate all y'all for chiming in. You guys were dope. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. You dig? Deuces. Your boy Wole is out.
Peace.